Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with one of the most exciting, biggest bangers of 2025, Salomon Aero Glide 3. Gonna put it through some miles today, compare it to your hype kings, the NovaBlast 5 and the SUPERBLAST, which unfortunately just won the Sup While Running Instagram March Madness Challenge, which was just a popularity contest, really. Who cares? If you're looking for a new daily trainer, though, of course, follow the Supwell Instagram, but also make sure you're signed up for the Supwell app. Now, I know a lot of people right now are concerned about the tariffs. There's something like, I saw, we're going to be doing 50% tariffs in the U.S. on some of these countries. You know it doesn't have tariffs? The Supwell app, because it's a gently used running shoe marketplace. And people get these shoes that they have, and they buy them, they don't work for them, and they sell them on the Supwell app. It was one of those propeller things with only a few miles on it. We got the best daily trainers at the best prices, race shoes at the best prices, max cushion shoes at the best prices. So if you're looking for any of the shoes mentioned in this video or anything else as you are stacking miles through the spring and summer, make sure you're on the Supwell app. I built the app through blood, sweat, and mileage so that hobby joggers all across the world can have a tariff-free marketplace. All right, enjoy today's video. Woo! Bang! Bang! The slugs are back. It feels like summer right now, man. The humidity is popping. The slugs are out. It's about to be an iconic summer. It's going to be a wet, hot, mileage summer. It's only April, but it feels like summer in the Carolinas. That's the thing. We're about 6 weeks ahead of up north. So how it feels mid-May, late May in New York and Boston, that's how it feels right now. It's about 70 degrees American, which is super nice. Speaking of mileage, that's what we're going to do this morning. We have the Salomon Aero Glide 3. This thing is one of my favorite new daily trainers. Then we also have the ASICS NovaBlast 5 here. So today we're going to do a head-to-head comparison of these two. My question is, can this random French shoe, which nobody cares about outside of the handful of people on the Supwell app who have purchased it, and the other people who watch the video or a few videos that I've put out on it, can this shoe dethrone the NovaBlast 5 and be the best daily trainer on the market right now? Is it better than the NovaBlast 5, or is it even just one to consider? We don't even have to go better, but it's the internet, so everything has to be good, better, best. Everything has to be a superlative of this and that. Is this the best daily trainer on the market? And this isn't just for internet hype. Well, there's no internet hype behind this shoe, but the premise of this video is not just internet hype. This is really a solid shoe. It reminds me of a lot of the elements. You can go look on the Instagram, and I did a video on this shoe a few weeks ago, and Grant asked me to do my favorite do-it-all shoe of the moment. This shoe reminds me of a lot of the elements of shoes that I've loved in the past, like the New Balance 1080 V13, that soft, protective comfort with the bounce, the durability, and the versatility of something like a Saucony Triumph 20. Great protection here. What you're getting is a beaded TPU foam. This is the same type of foam. They call it Energy Evo foam, but it's the same type of foam that's in an Adidas Ultra Boost, same type of foam that's in a Saucony Triumph 20. Lasts a long time. Nice lightweight upper, decent rubber coverage. But the key thing here is this foam really comes alive when I'm putting some force down, when I'm putting some pace down, but at the same time, feels decently comfortable when I'm bopping along. It reminds me of what so many people like about the ASICS Super Trash Juice, which, by the way, I know I'm going to have to do a statement on this because it won the Super Trash Juice won the bracket on the Supwell Running Instagram account. I already demanded a recount of the votes. It was 53% to 47%. So Grant is retallying the votes, and we'll see. I think there might have been some collusion going on involved, so we're going to be looking into that as well. But my statement on the SUPERBLAST 2 is honestly, I don't have a statement. A lot of people like the shoe. I don't like the shoe. But the thing about the SUPERBLAST 2 is a lot of people like it and a lot of people dislike it as well. It's not this it is widely beloved, but it's also widely hated. On the Instagram, again, I did this review talking about how I thought it was a brick, and there were two types of people. It was people saying, this guy is crazy, he's a shoe Judas, which was not a joke. And then there was other people saying, I know exactly what he's talking about. This thing is a brick. I returned it after the second run. We even had people who liked the SUPERBLAST OG saying that they didn't like it. So divisive shoe. Point being, this shoe reminds me of the range that a lot of people, not me, found in the SUPERBLAST 2, in that it can do daily miles, it can do faster miles, it can do recovery miles for some people. And with the SUPERBLAST 2, what we found is you got to put down some more power to get the benefit out of it. That is something that I felt in here, not as much, but it feels better to me going fast. So if you think about daily trainers, and man, any shoe, regardless of the price point, regardless of the materials, the construction, will have trade-offs. The more comfortable a shoe is, typically, the less aggressive it will be, meaning it's not going to be as fast. The faster, more aggressive a shoe is, the more streamlined, the less good it's going to be for relaxed, longer miles. Vice versa, etc. ad nauseum. With the Aero Glide 3 here, and I was talking to Grant about this, it's better for fast daily miles for me, better for those days where I'm doing strides, pace pickups, and that's very similar to the ASICS Nova Blast 5. But for most people, that is going to make up the bulk of your weekly mileage and what you look for in a daily trainer. You use these for everyday miles, any day where you're doing some slight pace pickup, and then you might rotate that with a more max stack, relaxed shoe. So the difference between both of these shoes and something like the Mag Max or even the More V5, which I've got to take that out again soon, are these two are both tuned more for the energetic quality of a daily shoe. FF Blast Max here in the Nova Blast 5, it's a bouncier compound, slightly soft too. This might even be softer than the Aero Glide 3. It feels, some people told me this feels too soft, but good bounce here. This one always encourages me to pick up the pace and go faster than some days I was anticipating and some days I want. But this one is definitely more specialized towards peppier runs. It still has good stability. If we look out in the back here, both of these shoes have decently wide bases. I found that the Nova Blast 5 is extremely stable. I do think the protection goes to the Aero Glide due to this beaded TPU foam. And then maybe the pep goes to the Nova Blast 5. I'm not sure. Let's put them through the lab and then we can take them out for some miles. One thing I should note is that the Aero Glide is $160 and the Nova Blast 5 is $140, so there's a $20 difference. However, it doesn't matter all that much if these shoes are giving the same sort of ride. But we could say potentially the Nova Blast 5 is a much better buy because it's $20 cheaper. And the other thing is right now, everyone's talking about the tariffs. Tariffs are going to drive the prices up and asking me what I think about it. Until they start putting tariffs on the mileage, I'm not concerned. Call me when there's tariffs on mileage. 271.5 grams in the Nova Blast 5. A Solomon Aero Glide here, 273 grams. So now you'll see why we're putting these up against each other, even though there is a $20 price difference. Specs, very similar. And once we put these through the stackerator, you'll start to see, too, how this difference is even bigger because 273 grams. But watch this stack height here. Let's drop the stack check beat. You know what's crazy? I saw somebody else on IG doing a stackerator. And he was smiling, devilishly smiling. I almost reposted the story and put the Supwell beat over it, but I decided not to be petty. All right, Nova Blast 5. This has 100 miles on it. Solomon is closer to 50 miles, but take a look at this. 36.25 stack in the Nova Blast. That's the left side. Right side, and by the way, somebody, when I was doing the Vomero 18 stack check, somebody asked me or was confused why my numbers were so different from the ones Nike was listing. That's the exact reason I'm doing this. Nike is saying 46 millimeters in the Vomero 18. They're not lying about that. That's, you know, I love to get on the brands, but they're not just lying about stack height. That is how tall the shoe is due to their measuring when it comes to the factory. I measure in every single time, pretty much every single time I run in it, and then we see how much it compresses over time. So in a 50-mile review, as is the case in the Vomero, we saw that thing had compressed a few millimeters, 4 or 5 millimeters, and that's exactly what's happened in the Nova Blast as well. On paper, this is over 40 millimeters. Now, 100 plus miles. After a few weeks of resting, though, I haven't run in this shoe in a few weeks. We have 36 millimeters. Over to our friend, the Solomon Aero Glide 3 here. Again, keep in mind, these are both the same weight. Bada boom, bada bang. You're getting more bang for your stack buck here, closer to 39 millimeters. That's 38.6. And then on the right side, the one thing is, though, if all you're looking for is stack, the SUPERBLAST is still going to be your best bet because that thing is above 40 millimeters. But for me, it's again, trade-offs. I don't always want a gigantic shoe. Oh, this is closer to 40 on the right side. So again, average out about 38, 39 on the Solomon after 50 miles of running. This is the sweet spot for me for a daily trainer. Anything above this, it just starts to feel like too much shoe on foot. So you can see decently comparable specs. One last thing I want to check is heel width because, and the other thing I should say is the Aero Glide. A lot of people say you should size down. So this would come in even lighter than that 273 in a comparable length. But heel width, 91 on the Aero Glide. And 97 in the Nova Blast 5. So Nova Blast 5, slightly wider and lower. Maybe better for stability, but I don't know. I felt the Aero Glide stability has been solid so far. All right, let's lace this thing up. Yeah, these really are becoming one of my favorite daily trainers. And there can be multiple good daily trainers on the market, but the role that these play is just so similar to the Nova Blast. The one thing with the Nova Blast is we are hearing those concerns about the durability, mixed reports about how durable they are, and I just know this foam here, the beaded TPU, lasts a long time. I've had multiple shoes that have taken to crazy high mileage with this foam. Now, Solomon is calling it something different, Energy Evo, but in the Adidas Boost and the Saucony Triumph, taking those foams to 300 plus. I took the Boost to 700. That was my first shoe. So yeah, fit of this, nice and comfortable. Upper is lightweight. Some people have had to go down half to a full size. I could have gone down a half size in this, but I have it in the 10.5. The full size is crazy. I've heard in the women's sizing, or if you have a narrow foot, that's when you might want to go down a full size. But for most men's sizing, probably half a size. And yeah, the step-in isn't particularly soft and squishy. It just feels like a normal, comfortable shoe. All right, walk test. So the other nice thing with these is it's nice and smooth. The back doesn't have that same choppiness that the Nova Blast can have sometimes. That is, well, there's a few downsides to the Nova Blast, but the heel catching at certain paces, the choppy ride of the NovaBlast when you don't hit the platform correctly. That's a downside. And then the foam feeling flatter for some people. This feels nice and cushioned. It doesn't compress down a lot, especially at walking paces. And a few people with this, the downside has been it can be too firm for some people. I have not felt that, but if you're not putting power down through it, I could see how that is potentially the case. For me, it's right in that Goldilocks zone, though. So with that, let's get our morning miles in this thing. Just going to get normal 10 around the hood here. Maybe do a pace pickup. Oh, fit check today. Quick fit check. Max cushion gang. We're going max cushion gang. I don't know if you could see that, but max cushion gang and then the OG black hobby jugger hat. Let's do it. I almost got taken out by my own slides yesterday. Not today. Oh gosh. Brick! Yeah, man, for me, this thing just has the perfect amount of squish and bounce. Comfortable and cushioned with some pep. This thing is such a banger. I'm definitely in recovery mode. I can feel it this morning. It's gonna be slow. Woo. Yeah, I'm slow today. I hit a 20-mile day yesterday. Good morning run. And then the day before that, I hit a progression run. Getting down to 550s. So this is recovery today, tomorrow, and Saturday recovery. And this shoe is feeling good, even at those paces. I know that was a concern for some people. Is this shoe gonna be too firm for recovery? Is it only a fast daily? And even for me, but no, this is really versatile. It reminds me of the Mag Max, but way lighter. It has the NovaBlast weight with the comfort and cushion of a 1080 or Triumph. It's a banger. This is just such a banger. Oh gosh, so good. I dropped the GoPro. Offset. Yeah, this is my first morning run where I've been hot. It is 70 and the humidity is high. We might be entering shirtless season. Here's my real take on the tariffs. The US economy does not need tariffs. We need companies like Brooks to stop taking 8 years to chef up mid. That's what we need. We need some competition to light a fire under these American companies behind. It's embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing. 8 years and all you could come up with was stealing the IP from Nike. The same thing with Nike too. Vaporfly 4, they said, why don't we just make it the same as Vaporfly 1, which was a banger. But come on. We're out here acting scared. America's acting scared. If I were president, I wouldn't let anybody vote. Executive order, no congressman can vote on a bill unless they put in at least 15 miles that week. It could be walking too. It could be walking. boy's scared of some competition. I'm not scared of competition. That's what tariffs mean. Tariffs mean we don't want the smoke on the global economy. It's embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing. We need to create some more fire products. We don't need the gosh dang tariffs. It's a running shoe channel. Keep the politics out. Bro, I done spent like 20 racks on running shoes since I started this channel. That's politics. It's about to be looking like 40 racks with these tariffs. And I don't care. I'll pay it. The tariffs cannot stop the mileage train. And if they do somehow find a way to put tariffs on mileage, I'll start selling kilometers and we'll be back up again. All aboard the kilo train. Matter of fact, they start putting 30% tariffs on everything, and I'm gonna start banging out 130-mile weeks in solidarity with the people. We've got some Canadians in the SUPERBLAST app. This guy posted a picture yesterday. He had the gravel version of these. It's like the TR version of ASICS shoes. He posted a picture and it was snowing. There was snow on the ground everywhere in Canada right now. Meanwhile, I've got some swampy drawers down here. It's always funny to me when people say to keep it to running shoes. Just talk about the shoe. The ceiling for running shoe commentary is Ben Parks. The ceiling for general commentary about the state of affairs is John Oliver, Stephen Colbert. I might just pivot this channel. There's a lot to talk about. And I'm out here jawing off about Piba having random Germans annoyed. The thing is, what I've realized though, if I were reading a transcript of somebody else talking in a foreign language, I would get annoyed too. I think there's a lot that gets lost in translation when it comes to my discourse on the channel here. But you know what doesn't get lost in translation? Mileage. Can't let the external forces stop you. Before I ever made a dime on this business, put up my own money to go to the running event, put Supwell on the map. Last year, man, I emptied my checking account to get new shoes, to feed the people, to grow the business. I'm not scared of dang tariffs. We'll find a way. It's the same thing. YouTube, some months they'll just randomly cut ad revenue. Guess what? We got the affiliate. We got the app. We got to diversify multiply. Magnify, maximum. I couldn't think of another rhyme. The other thing with keep the politics out of the channel, everything is politics. The food we eat, the clothes we buy, where we live, where we send our kids to school. It's all politics. Whether you like it or not, that's the truth. The music we listen to, the friends we choose to identify with, that's politics. Who you mad at, me or yourself? Don't get mad at me. Might have to launch a Supwell app stablecoin that's tied to my weekly mileage. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. It's more stable than the USD. No tariffs on the mileage coin, baby. Is Bangladesh one of the tariff countries? The Supple running shirts are made in Bangladesh. That might be problematic for the summer drop. I'm supposed to be talking about this shoe, right? Almost at mile 8 here. Still a banger. Still a banger. This has the top spot. This has the top spot. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The French are back on top. Might have to drop the Maison du Hobby Jug collection. We don't walk down the runway, we jog. All right, I'm gonna stop. There's too much clowning today already. Let's turn this thing off. Core who? Core the hooker. Ain't that the broad end at the 7th Street Grill with the thing that moves in the wrong direction? Booker. Now you say he did what? For 24 hours? I thought Dave and Buster's only ran that beer special on Tuesdays. And you're telling me that's gonna lower the prices of... All right, well, I got back here and Brothers Plumbing is legitimately drilling into the brick next door. It's quite loud. 10.23 miles, 7:43 pace, slower end of my daily miles. My legs are heavy right now, but boy, these things are a banger. Let me run down the list. Best do-it-all shoe of 2025, best daily trainer of 2025, best training shoe under $200 of 2025. It's also crazy to me how this Evo foam, and I was slamming Brooks yesterday for using PIBA. This is an older compound. It's not a crazy new innovation. Brooks debuted it, or Adidas debuted it 10 years ago, but they've somehow found a way to iterate and to make it even better. Shout out to Solomon putting in work, representing France. They're still staking us out. Oh gosh. Bro, they are really staking us out today. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see that? And then up here, it's even worse. This is like my nightmare. Look at all those little red spiders. Oh, we gotta get the shoes off of here. This is just absurd. It's crazy, man. Once in a while, and we've got the water down here, so I'm standing offset again today, but once in a while the shoe comes along and really surprises me. Last year, the Adidas Adizero SL2 was that shoe, and it's not that I was surprised that Adidas made a banger, because they have a lot of bangers in their lineup. I love the Adidas Boston 12 that had the same Light Strike Pro and Light Strike combination as the SL2. They slightly tweaked the Light Strike in there. Adidas has bangers like the Ultra Boost and the Adios Pro 3 and Takumi Sen 8, 9, and 10. I was surprised, though, that they offered a full race foam core. Well, full core, that sounds like one of those Orwellian phrases. A race foam core in a $130 shoe that performed so well, that punched so high above his weight class at such value. And this year, this has been my biggest surprise. A random brand from France, Salomon. It's not a completely random brand. It's not a startup, but they have 0 road shoe hits. Zero. There's no popular road shoes that this brand has made before this model. I don't even know if this is going to become their popular road shoe. I'm going to do my gosh dang best effort to make it that, but they don't really have any credibility in road running in the United States of America. They're known as a trail ultra brand. Did they have Courtney Dowwalt there, right? Do they have Kylian Jornet? Regardless, this is not what I expected out of Salomon. And when I heard people initially, a lot of the sickos saying you got to try the Aero Glide 3, I was thinking, okay, it's probably going to be a solid daily trainer. But not in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would be pulling for this over the Mag Max. I would be pulling for this over the Nova Blast. I would be pulling for this over the SUPERBLAST. Yeah, I did imagine that because I don't like that. But if you think about what these two shoes are offering and what they're designed to do, the same with the Nova Blast, Aero Glide 3, it sits in the middle of these two. It has the lightweight, pep, more streamlined feel of the Nova Blast, but it has the protective punch of the SUPERBLAST and that higher torque feeling where I want to mash the gas and it will respond and go. It is really like a blend of what people love about those two shoes, except it feels so much more streamlined on foot than the SUPERBLAST. So to me, this is the best daily trainer on the market right now. It's $160. That is $20 more expensive than the Nova Blast, but what you're getting in here that you're not in the Nova Blast is a more durable foam. It's not going to compress down as much over time. It stands up a lot better to high mileage, and it's more versatile for me than the Nova Blast. The Nova Blast is amazing at $140, and again, number 1 and number 2. This would be number 1 on my daily it is going to be number 1 on the daily trainers list on the Sup While Running Instagram, the power rankings for April. And this is going to be number 2. They are really close, but this just has the additional comfort, the additional support, and the higher mileage capability that I love. This is really a perfect daily trainer, well-rounded. And I know I was saying, is it going to be too firm for some people? I did have one guy, my friend Pedro on the Supwell app, say he felt that it was too firm for him. And I don't know exactly how tall he is. I think he's shorter than I am, lighter than I am. And he said he was running more around, I believe it was 9-minute or 10-minute paces, and he got down to 8-minute paces. And I might be off by 30 seconds to a minute here. Regardless, he is smaller than I am. And he was saying at his more relaxed paces, he was running slightly slower than I am. It didn't feel as great. So if that is the case for you, if you are smaller than so I'm 6'2", 160, running a lot slower. Pollen. You know this. Pollen. Yeah, it's not that this is this big tank-like shoe where you have to be putting down a lot of force, but it is a more max cushion shoe. It is a more supportive shoe. And I even had people say the Triumph 20 was too firm for them. So if the Triumph 20 was too firm for you, this is going to be too firm for you. But it's not a firm feeling shoe. It's right in that middle zone for me. I love it. And I ran in the Brooks Ghost Max yesterday, the Ghost Max 2, and I really like that shoe. The special quality of this is it is 60 grams lighter, about 20% lighter than the Ghost Max 2, with more stack height, with the same protection, but more ability to pick up the pace. So this is an awesome shoe. I could wax poetic. Salomon did a really nice job. There's nothing exceptional about the materials here, the construction. It's just completely dialed in. And this is what I was saying yesterday in that Hyperion Elite 4 PB review, when I reviewed the Hyperion in the morning, the Brooks in the afternoon. There's good, nothing special. There's bad, nothing special. On paper, this is good, nothing special. But as we put it through the miles, that's where the qualities that I love in a daily trainer, just having it be reliable, having it be something I could pull for every morning when I want to just go out here and have some fun bopping along on a recovery run. Having it be that one shoe I know I can throw in a suitcase if I'm going on a trip and I'm not going to have any worries. And again, think about the other shoes that I've used like this, Vomero 18. That's another one I've been liking a lot recently. That's 100% going to be on the top 5 daily trainers list. But that's also 60 grams heavier than this. That's 330 grams. And not every shoe needs to be lightweight, but this is able to evade the trade-offs slightly. It's nothing crazy. There's no breakthrough materials here. It's not like the Adidas Evo SL that comes in at, or Evo Pro that comes in at 170 grams in my size, but it does feel light compared to the other Max Cushion shoes, the Ghost Max, Mag Max, Morphe 5, that category of shoes. And it has that protection with the ability to pick up the pace with that punch. So more protective than the NovaBlast 5, more capability than the NovaBlast 5. It is $20 more expensive, but if you are looking for the utmost in capability, if you are the type of runner who likes to have one or two solid, reliable shoes to put the bulk of your daily miles, you are not going to be disappointed with the Aero Glide 3. This is king right now. King Louis the 13th. Sitting on the throne. Don't disrespect the Salomon, man. This is a complete banger. Again, I also think if you are a fan of the SUPERBLAST, and I am not, but if you're looking for that SUPERBLAST replacement or just something to rotate with it, switch it up, I would really give this a shot. It has the same feel. Everything that I can see why people like about the SUPERBLAST, it's in the Aero Glide 3, except it's less bulky and it doesn't have, my key issue with the SUPERBLAST and what a lot of people have found is the issue with this shoe is the back here will hit in a certain way and you have to put force down through the back, and then it has the compression of the foam just doesn't feel that great. None of that is going on with the Aero Glide 3 here. The foam and the ride is so much more comfortable and so much smoother, and I know I'm not the biggest fan of this, but even people who are a fan of this, some of them are already trying this out and saying they like it. So give it a shot. This is the best daily trainer right now. This is top of the pile. Neo Zen is also great. That's probably going to come in at, I'm not going to tell you where. You have to go on the power rankings to see. Neo Zen is still, difference between Neo Zen and this, and I'm not going to do a head-to-head comparison because literally 17 people would watch that video, just the 17 most sickos on the Supwell app. Can you imagine that title, Mizuno Neo Zen versus Salomon Aero Glide 3? It's the most niche shoe comparison ever. But they are two of the top 5 daily trainers right now. So I'll just give it to you right now. Neo Zen, that is more of the, it's how I describe the Pegasus Premium. It's the heavy-hitting Bordeaux. Right, it's not the daily driver. It's not the daily drinker. So athletic beer, right? Non-alcoholic beer. I drink that every day. Sometimes I'll try these new brands, Untitled Art, or I'll bring a non-alcoholic sour in here, and it's nice to have it. And I do like having something fruitier or something heavier, something heartier for different seasons. But I always go back to that non-alcoholic IPA. That's what I love. The Aero Glide 3 is that old reliable, right? How I like the Saucony Triumph 20. Very similar thing here. The Neo Zen, it has more of those eccentric qualities to it. It spikes in the softness, it spikes in the bounciness. And my friend Nick Ward from the UK, he's a new hat model, by the way. He's been modeling our Hobby Jogger hats for us, so shout out to him. He said on the UK roads, which apparently are terribly paved, the Neo Zen is terrible, and he was almost twisting an ankle. And that's the thing you have to remember about where I review shoes most of the time, where I'm running. Very flat, nice suburban pavements out here. We pay our taxes, and they pave our roads well. So if you're running on back roads, if you're running on gravel, a shoe like the Neo Zen isn't going to be the best. I wouldn't take the Neo Zen as my one shoe for 2 weeks of running. I could have the Aero Glide for a 400-mile month and just do that. It really is that good. It's top of the pile for me right now. I've also ripped some fast runs. I haven't done any workouts, but I'll get out here cooking at 620s, 630s in this thing, and it's just singing. So this really is a special shoe. It's not crazily inexpensive. Where is it made? Hey, made in Vietnam. Shout out. So it's probably going to be about $210 soon, but even at $200, I'll take it. Maybe these tariffs are a good thing for some of you guys out there, just buying every shoe left and right. Maybe we'll put some brakes on the habits here. It's probably not going to be good for my Running Warehouse affiliate check, but hey, start selling training plans like I've been talking about for a while. I can't put a tariff on my training plans. The last thing I'll say about the tariffs, globalization, it only goes in one direction. You can't reverse the interconnection of the global economy right now. It's once Amerigo Vespucci and Franz Ferdinand and Christopher Columbus left the shores, and we're not gonna go back. So I don't really understand what's going on, but I'm gonna keep testing the shoes. I said this out there, and I'm not kidding. These shoes, Daily Trainers, are $300. I'm gonna buy them, and I'm gonna test them. We've been saving up, and we've got a war chest. I'll report my running distances and mileage if I need to, or kilometers if I need to. I don't care. I'm not leaving. All right. I appreciate you all, and I will be back with another video tomorrow. I forgot to say tomorrow. Bro's own wife is imported from Europe. One more thing, man. I think my good coffee finally came. I've been waiting all week, drinking completely mid coffee from their grocery store. And by the way, Colombia, they're on the tariff list too. So this coffee is about to cost some racks, but it's all good. I'm not drinking mid. I am not drinking mid coffee. I'll pay whatever it costs. Go broke. Getting the grind I need. Bang! Yeah, buddy. All right, black and white coffee roasters, and then, ooh, this is actually some new merch I'm testing.
Daddy, that's not shoes.
No, this is merch, and this is coffee. What's that? Carbon County. Here's the thing, man. I'm making a lot of jokes today, but if you care about your local economy, support the coffee roasters in your state. Support the produce growers that are going to your local farmers market. I'm not here to preach, but that's what I do. All right, black and white. Bang. So this is roast number 1, Pina Colada. Where is this from? Oh, this is a blend, I think. Tropical and summery. This blend will transport you to an oceanside tiki bar, twirling a tiny pink umbrella as you sip. It doesn't say the contents of this blend, but look at that. Roasted April 1st. That's actually not that great. Well, it is great to get fresh roast, but these coffees do better with about a week of resting. But it's still going to be fire. And this is the one that I recommend for most people if you just want something fire. This is the New School blend. Fruity and clean. Pays its respects to the classics while simultaneously embracing innovation. Black and white is not scared of innovation. They're just dropping bangers after bangers. A collision of worlds we simply couldn't resist. This is old trusty favorite. This one could be good. It could be Mizuno Neo Zen. I'm going to guess Mizuno Neo Zen is not bad. It's a really good shoe, but this is the fun shoe. This is almost like the Aero Glide 3, the New School, that it has some fun, but it's very reliable. This one, I think it might be out there. If you look at the funk meter, we're cranked up to 70%. So I'm going to brew some up and we can get a taste test going. Should we see what's in the merch testing box? Everything in here is a 101. This is just samples that I got for myself. Ooh. Ooh, that's some heat right there. Ooh, that's some heat right there. Yeah, made in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is on the tariff list. They are, so we'll see what happens. Oh gosh, dude, this is fire. It's the Carbon County Mileage Department. This hat's a banger. I'm gonna put this on right now. Start skipping runs, you're gonna have to answer to me. It's the chief of the mileage department, baby. You don't be skipping your runs. This smells so good. It smells like strawberry yogurt or strawberry vanilla ice cream. A nice Neapolitan ice cream. All right, one sip. Everybody knows the rules. That is complete flames. Chocolate covered strawberry. Frozen mango chunks. And white raisin. That's complete fire, bro. What was this one called? Pina Colada. Shout out to Black and White putting work. And then we already know the new school is a banger. Whew, that's good, man. We got the new heat. This new heat, I don't even know. This is new heat. Whew, look at that. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. One more thing. I'm about to go out for my afternoon mileage. And you already know, I'm doubling back in the Aero Goat 3. I'm not even going to film it. I'm not even going to give any thoughts. That's just what I'm running in because it's so fire. I'm putting my miles where my mouth is. I think there's probably a better way to say that expression, but we're running it back in the Aero Go 3. It's a banger. Number one, give it the trophy. This is the LeBron of running shoes right now. Have you guys heard those LeBron songs? I just saw it on Instagram. This is like remixes of popular songs saying LeBron. There was one in the Put On, the Jeezy Put On beat. It was LeBron, LeBron, it's the Aero Goat 3.